Hey everyone, welcome back to another meeting of the Tropical Rum Society. As always, I'm your host Matt, and today we're going to be talking about Mount Gay Eclipse Rum from Barbados. We'll get to the tasting in just a bit. First we'll talk a little bit about Mount Gay and its history, but if you want to get straight into finding out what it smells like, what it tastes like, there's some timestamps down in the description. You can jump ahead to that. Otherwise, let's find out all about Mount Gay and its pretty impressive history. So Mount Gay Distilleries can be found on the island of Barbados, which is the easternmost island of the West Indies. And because of this location in the Caribbean, they have a strong history of being the first place that Europeans would find when sailing from Europe over to the Caribbean. They have a strong association with sailing because of that nautical history, and actually they're a pretty popular choice for sailors around the world. They actually sponsor a whole bunch of different sailing regattas as well to tie in with their history. And speaking of their history, Mount Gay has a legal deed which confirms the existence of their pot still house in Barbados, which dates back to the 20th of February 1703, which means they're the oldest rum producer in the world. They also dug a well back in 1703, over 300 years ago. This 300-year-old well goes all the way down into the deep coral stone of the island, which acts as a natural filter for the spring water, which cleans it and purifies it and makes it so crisp and nice, which is what Mount Gay puts into their rums. So now that we know a little bit about Mount Gay, the distillery, let's take a look at their Eclipse Rum. This is the entry-level rum for the brand, and it's a little bit on the low end in terms of its alcoholic content compared to some other rums. It's only 37.5%, which makes it 75 proof, so definitely a little bit lower than that standard 40% you would see in most other rums. However, they have been making rum since 1703, so I think they know what they're doing. We'll find out when we taste it in just a second. This is a pot-stilled rum, obviously from Barbados, and it's made from a base of molasses. It's probably one of the most popular and most recognized rums to come out of Barbados. And from what I hear, it's basically the drink of choice that you will get in any kind of cocktail while you're on Barbados. I personally haven't been there. I hope to go there one day, but until then, I'll take everyone's word for it. It's a very widely well-known rum. It's aged in charred American oak barrels for 2 years before bottling, which is what gives it that color and that flavor that I'm sure we'll see in just a second. So with all that in mind, let's jump into the review portion of the video, starting with the appearance. So the bottle here has a nice round look to it. It's got some textured lettering in the glass down the bottom, and that kind of reminds me a little bit more of a bourbon bottle. But I think with the label here, this main label showing the island nation, that really kind of ties it together and gives it a nice classy look for this particular rum. We can see, just looking at the bottle here, that it's going to be definitely kind of a light colored rum when we get it out of this bottle. So let's do that now. We'll take some, we'll pour it in our glass over here, and as you can see as I pour it out, it's a nice light colored rum. Really kind of, it's almost like a glass of tea, I would say, that you've let steep, like a green tea, not even a dark one. But let me get this lid back on here. I would say, yeah, a light golden color, kind of like you've made some tea, but it's very inviting, it's very pleasant, it's very bright. I do like it, and with that, let's give it a bit of a smell.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Damn it, Siri. So with the smell, it's a nice gentle rum. There's not too much alcohol to it. That's probably because it's only got that 37.5%. But it's got some nice sweetness going on in there. It's very kind of fruity. I would say there's a little bit of banana, probably some vanilla, a little bit of spice there as well, actually, even though it's not a spiced rum. But it's got some spiciness to it. It's very nice, very nice. It's not really making too much of an impact compared to some other rums that I've had, but it's very, very pleasant. So with that, let's give it a taste.
I'm not sure I understand.
That's like the 4th time that Siri has interrupted this video. So now with Siri hopefully silenced, let's get back to the tasting. We've got kind of a woody, oaky kind of flavor in here that I'm guessing is probably coming from that charred American oak barrels. It's generally pretty light on. It doesn't have any really big, bold flavors that stand out to me. There's a little bit of sweetness that you'd expect from a rum, but not too much. Like, surprisingly, this is almost watery when I drink it. It doesn't really pack too much of a punch like some of the other rums that I've had. Definitely a little bit light on in the flavor department. But that being said, it is one that I can hold in my mouth for quite a while, and I don't have to worry about the alcohol burn. So it's really good to kind of just hold in your mouth and let those flavors build. There's also a finishing flavor of banana, which lingers in your mouth afterwards, which is quite nice as well. This one definitely would be nice on an island beach, maybe in like a beachfront hut while you're out overlooking the ocean. It's very pleasant, very light, very easy to drink. I could definitely sip on this for a while. And it's got some good summer vibes to it. Yeah, definitely a beach drinker. Overall, I'd say that the Eclipse rum is quite a light, easy to drink rum. It's probably one that's actually good for beginners because it's not too big or bold on its flavor. And I think if you were someone who's not into the world of rum and you haven't got into some kind of really deep and heavy ones, this would be easy to begin with. It's definitely got some characteristics that you would see in some other rums, like that rum sweetness and the banana flavors. So it's very easy and very approachable to be able to begin your rum journey. So if you're just starting out, this is one that I would highly recommend. Definitely give it a shot. And then you can move on to some of those deeper, maybe kind of Jamaican pot still, like funky vibes later. So that's going to do it today for the Mount Gay Eclipse Rum. If you've had this one, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. And as always, let me know what you're keen to see next. I'm always on the lookout for new and exotic rums, but also keep in mind that down here in Melbourne, we don't have the widest selection. So if you know one that is available and also pretty good, let me know. I'll try and grab a bottle and we'll see it in another episode. For now though, it's time to get this bad boy over onto the shelf and I will see you at next week's meeting.